I'd like to welcome you to SKG today as we celebrate the signing of two sacred documents, moving SKG and Algoma's partnership tighter than we've ever been. So yeah, very pleased with that. Before we begin, we're going to just do a land acknowledgement. So we do recognize that we are on the lands of Getagonsee B, aka Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, and we recognize the people of the Métis Nation.
When we welcome people here from around the world, we had quite a beautiful lodge, and you see one of those lodges outside there, a teaching lodge, and that's our school, and it talks about our way of life. It talks about how we can keep that alive, and that it's infused with spirit. And spirit guides us. Even when we collect those saplings that are helping with the construction there, each one of those maple saplings is alive. So those saplings came here. That's the semblance of our culture. That's a centrifugal, a beautiful part of who we are. Our people and society in general are going to benefit from this work that we're going to be doing here at Shingwauk Kinoomaage Gamig and Algoma University over the next number of decades. I'm looking forward to working with governments, some of the new governments, Ontario and Canada, to make sure that the vision of Shingwauk Kinoomaage Gamig and Algoma University continues to thrive and does reach fruition. It takes a lot of effort because we're in uncharted territory, and it's hard to convince people to step outside of the norm to embrace something like this. We are the third pillar of education in Ontario as an Indigenous institute. However, we have to put wheels on that bus, and we're going to do that, and we are working at that. So I'm looking forward to collaboration on a number of fronts and how we can evolve together and really improve the quality of life for everybody that's joined us on our lands.
We've had our fair share of tough talks as well behind closed doors and talking about Shingwauk's vision and the need for Anishinaabe control over Anishinaabe education. I've been in this field in higher education, in Anishinaabe education for more than 20 years, and it's always been my vision, my goal, my integrity to be able to advance Anishinaabe control over Anishinaabe education. It's for the betterment of our people, our children, and for those yet to come. I also want to acknowledge all of the people who came before us. There were very many people that worked in this realm, that met many challenges over the years so that we could be here today, so that we could be here still sounding our voices and speaking our languages on our lands. And that's what this is all about for me. And I know Chief Sayers shares in that vision as well around being able to provide quality education that allows our children to take their rightful places on our lands wherever they may be on this globe. It's enough for us to be able to embrace our own languages, our history, our knowledges, and to find spaces in higher education, to create new knowledge, to advance education to meet our needs in our communities, so that we can create better opportunities for Anishinaabe people at Algoma and beyond. We're setting the bar here in Ontario and beyond, and so I think this is a really great place for all of us to be today in Chimiigwech.
When you think about those trendsetters, doing the sacred work that I'm doing up here with the unmarked burials, I've had an opportunity to meet a lot of people across Turtle Island. And just to give me instant street cred with these people, I tell them my mom's Susie Jones, and I'm part of Children of Shingwauk Alumni Association. At least 3 or 4 times, people I've never met before said, if it wasn't for CSAA, we might not be here today. They firmly believe that.
This is our home away from home, and we're grateful to the many before who have made this possible, to everybody still working hard for SKG to be here. We want to see it grow, and I hope my kids attend this university in the future. This is where I want them to come, and this is why I have them coming here. Miigwech.
Hausa nindinowe magniduk. Midashma amigwech bizindawig. Ishkedash amigwech gi bidune da au Ogimakwe minwewe beneshi jinakazid ishkedasha al gik wejamian gagikaduian omigasan. So I wanted to talk a little bit. I was asked by the Niaganid of Algoma U to speak a little bit on this wampum belt. And this is what we call the two-row wampum. So as an Ojibway Anishinaabe person, I also come from the Mohawk Nation. And through my Mohawk ancestry, our oral history tells us that this is one of the first treaties that was established with non-Indigenous people. It was an agreement that was made between the Ongwe Owe people, the Haudenosaunee people, the Mohawk people, and the Dutch. And what it does is it depicts two canoes traveling down the river of life together. And the teaching and the understanding with that is that either boat is not to interfere or to try and steer or direct the other boat. And there's a lot of teachings that come before this belt, this wampum. In our language, we refer to this as Anakinagewin. It's what we understand to be our laws, our ways of knowing. And going back to the history of this institution, when we talk about the original agreements that were made, there was language that was talked about with the two-row, what we call this law, this way that guides all of the work. And if you take a look at every single one of these beads, in our language as Anishinaabe, we call these omigasan, omigasug. And they're made from what we call the quahog shell and the whelk shells. And if you ever see the process of how they are made traditionally, a good wampum maker can make a single bead in about 40 minutes. So you think about all these beads that were put on this belt, the amount of time, the amount of care, the amount of effort that was put here. There was a lifetime worth of knowledge that is in this belt. So I wanted to present this to Shingwauk Kinoomaage Gamig, and I am very, very, very humbled to be coming into this role as director of Makwa Wakaigan. I'm also proud alumni of this institution, and I am also a proud intergenerational alumni. My grandmother went to this school back when it was a residential school. And within those walls, unfortunately, we know the history. Her language was taken from her. And this place was very, very foundational and instrumental in me reclaiming language. A big part of that, along with our ceremonies and connecting to who we are as Anishinaabe. So I wanted to lay this out because any of the work that we do moving forward, we need to come back to what guides the work. So with that, I wanted to say, Apachigo Miigwech and Bizendawieg, Miego Mamanik and Wewe Tuyan, Ahausa, Miigwech.
This place is going to teach all of us how to live a better life. And I look forward to that. And I think our job at Algoma University, particularly those of us who are still learning, our job is, as Shirley Roach-Baugh used to say, to use our ears. We have 2 ears. So let's listen more than we speak. So I want to congratulate everyone here today. I want us to reflect on those and the work that's gone on to get here today. Many hands, including former presidents of Algoma University and former leaders at the university. But most importantly, all of those Indigenous leaders and ancestors who actually envisioned this place. And I think there's a reason. So Algoma University is very supportive. I think our role is to actually stay out of the way, to support and to be champions and to listen. And I look forward to being part of that. I'm really grateful. This is making me a better human being, better leader. And it's because of a lot of you. So Chimigwech for the opportunity to be in this work with you, to be able to walk beside you, behind you, if necessary, in front of you. But I want to be a good partner. Algoma wants to be a good partner, and I think together we are going to do some amazing things. So I really look forward to it.
We need to better understand not what the American history books and the textbooks talk about at that time, but what was going on with the rights holders here, with the primary governments of the day here. Why were we there? Why did we have this ability to say yes or no to anything that we needed to in regards to the evolution of Bao'ting or Sault Ste. Marie? That's what's missing in the history. That's what's missing in the textbooks. That's what's missing in education. We only hear one side, and there are many perspectives. So as we look at and think about the evolution of Anishinaabe education, I think about how we had organized ourselves, and I think about the work that Shingwauk did on behalf of all of the chiefs and on behalf of all of us, including Nemanagojing and Singaboas and Ngageash and Wabachichak and many other chiefs that gave life. And that's the way our governance works. We stand one leader in front and say, you speak on our behalf. This is the messages that you have for us. And I really appreciate the work that Shingwauk done on behalf of all of us and all of you. We invested in him. We had ceremony. We had our lodges that made sure that the longevity of the messages that were shared through Chief Shingwauk would still be around today. It wasn't a unilateral decision to give life to the eventual establishment of a teaching lodge. It was a collective vision. And again today, it's a collective vision that we want to see continue to help nourish, to help our people once again be thriving with value placed on who we are as well and how we are going to work together. So there's many things that we need to be thinking about as we look at post-secondary education, as we look at high school education, elementary schools, daycares, everywhere. This type of perspective that we're trying to capture in this collaborative agreement needs to be ingrained. So I really appreciate the work that's happened today. This is just a document. The work is going to have to happen between all of us within both of these organizations with all levels of government across these lands, including the municipalities, including all of the citizens that have come here that want to see this happen and had assumed that this was always happening on their behalf. But it is now. And I'm looking forward to the continued evolution of our relationship and the bounty that will be shared with all of creation as a result of this collaborative agreement.
Let's go back to our original ways, our original life ways, our original laws, our original ways of knowing. I will not sleep. I will not sleep. I am walking in new moccasins. I am walking in new moccasins. Wah ho 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 ho. Wah ho 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 ho. Wah ho 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 ho. Wah ho 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 ho. Amen. Yahweh. magasin yo yan. Ande magasin yo yan. Ande magasin yo yan. Hey 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 ya. Wahoo 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 ho 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 ho.